Aloha everyone. Today I'm in South Kihei and I'm standing right next to the area on South Kihei Road that received the most storm damage from the Kona Low storms earlier this year. Now, this area's been in the news recently because a lot of the businesses have been really struggling because of this road damage. So in this video, I want to give you a quick update on the repairs that are being done here. And we'll also walk the beach in this area so you can see that it's still absolutely gorgeous and still a great place to come visit. Let's go for a walk. Okay, so this is the area that had the most storm damage from the Kona Low storms this March. As you can see, repairs are actively underway. It is a pretty substantial project. There was a lot of infrastructure, water lines, wastewater systems, power, all underneath the road. So that's why it's such a big project. They had to take care of all those systems before they could even start to add back the fill and grading. Just to give you some perspective of where we are, this is Maui 2 Beach right here. We'll walk down the beach a little bit later in the video. I plan to head over towards the short-term rental condo that I own personally, over towards Maui 1 Beach. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you exactly where I own my short-term rental condo. But as far as the repair project here, it looks like they're making some pretty good progress. I find it interesting that the power line here, or the utility pole, is being supported by a tree. Better safe than sorry, of course. I believe that they're going to replace the power pole here, the utility pole, towards later in the project. It's one of the things on the list that they need to do. Now the good news is it sounds like they're going to be done with this sooner than originally anticipated. Originally they were thinking it was going to be September, October, sometime in the fall of this year for completion, but the most recent estimate is by the end of August we might have the road completed. Now, as I mentioned, this area really has been struggling with business because of this. To give you some perspective, we're right next to the Kihei Akahi condo complex. And if we spin and look towards the south, that's the Maui Banyan condo complex. Now, both of those condos are hotel zone short-term rental condos. So as you can imagine, rentals have been slower than typical because of this. But the good news is, as you can see, there's always been access into these properties. So even right after the storm, there was never a disruption in people being able to get into the condo complexes and stay with them without any issues. Okay, so let's go for a walk on the beach. That's the update on the repairs that are in place. Now I want to show you that it's not nearly as scary as you might think. This area is still absolutely gorgeous. Now might even be a better time than usual to come visit just because there's less people here than typical. This is my favorite beach walk in Kihei. Even though I don't live in this area, sometimes I'll drive in just so I can walk. What I like to do is I start at Kamaole 1 beach, so on the other side of the point right there. Kamaole 1 beach, and you can actually walk all the way through Kamaole 2 and Kamaole 1 for a nice long beach walk. 3 separate beaches, but they're all connected and easy to access together. See the West Maui Mountains off in the distance. There is our road project once again. This is one of the areas that does have lifeguards on duty. See the lifeguard tower right there. It's about 8:30 this morning. Now usually this time of day you'd see this beach pretty full already. There are some people out paddleboarding, enjoying the water. And as we spin the camera here, with the sun in the way, it's kind of hard to see, but straight ahead that's Fred's Mexican Cafe, and there's Moose McGillicuddy's right above there. There's a whole bunch of businesses in those buildings, and those are the ones that are probably struggling the most because it's so close to the road. Also right next to Fred's is another hotel zone short-term rental condo. That's Kihei Kainani. One of the most affordable short-term rental condos on the island. I actually really like it. It's for the price point, the fact that you're right across the street from the beach, and you don't have to worry about beach erosion because you're on the other side of South Kihei Road. It's actually a pretty good option for people that are shopping for a budget short-term rental. Okay, these buildings right here on the ocean front, the first few right here are a condo complex called Hale Pauhana. Individually owned condos again, short-term rentals. Just gonna spin around so you can see the beach in the other direction from here. You can see Molokini. Zoom in here. There's Molokini off in the distance, and then beyond that is the island of Ko'olave. We're gonna head up those stairs right there, and then I'll show you how you can get around from cam 1 to from cam 2 to cam 1, or vice versa. This building right here is still the Hale Pauhana building. Now, Hale Pauhana is fee simple, so it's full ownership. The building straight ahead here, that's Kamaole Nalu. Another hotel zone short-term rental condo, but that one's leasehold. So it's a different type of ownership, something that people really need to be aware of. You know, when they're shopping for real estate here, is the difference between fee simple and leasehold. Okay, let's head up these stairs. Not a bad spot to hang out and enjoy your morning coffee. Again, mornings are usually the best beach time here on the south side of Maui. It tends to get kind of windy in the afternoon, and then it dies down again. The wind dies down again in right around sunset. So you can usually catch some nice sunset from all these areas. And spin again. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Off in the distance, that condo complex there's the Kihei Surfside and Mauna Kai. And that mound is the mound right next to McKenna Beach. You can actually see McKenna from here. You see Kamaole Nalu, here's the sign right here. Here's the property. Cool. And this is the Royal Mauian. This is a really great, another hotel zoned short-term rental condo complex. I love this one because it's beachfront, and as you can see, it has a rocky shoreline, a naturally rocky shoreline, which makes it kind of a safer option for anybody that's concerned with beach erosion and sea level rise, which is another thing you always need to be considered whenever you're shopping for real estate here. Great oceanfront pool. Mostly 2 and 3 bedroom floor plans at Royal Mauian. And as you can imagine, just some spectacular views. It's a horseshoe-shaped building, so it kind of curves. And these units here in particular get a nice view of the coastline and Kamaole 1 beach. And that building straight ahead, you can see the condo complex where I own a short-term rental. I have for many years. That's Kamaole Beach Royal. Right in front of that is Kama'ole Beach Club. Also hotel zoned. So this whole area for the most part has hotel zoned condos. Which, if you've been watching my channel, you already know that hotel zoned is so important these days because they're protected from the short-term rental phase-out project that, or the legislation that they already passed. So if you want to have a property that has the ability to short-term rent in the future, even after the phase-out occurs, you just have to buy one in hotel zoning. There's a lot of misconceptions out there that all of Maui's short-term rentals are going to be phased out, and that's just not the case. Right next to my building is Dolphin Plaza. You can see the sign there. Lots of great places to eat and shops in that area. Fantastic gelato store. And here we are, we're coming up on Kama'ole 1 Beach. Now we ran into some extra noise along the way with the guys doing the grounds maintenance, the landscapers, but it's really peaceful over here. At the far end of this beach is an area that they call Charlie Young Beach. When I first moved to Maui, that was my home beach, one of my favorites. So of course I'm a little biased, but I absolutely love this beach. One of the reasons why I bought the short-term rental right across the street from it. So there you have it. You can see for yourself that South Kihei and all the Kama'ole beaches are still looking absolutely gorgeous. And really the whole point of this video is for people to see that it's still a great place to come visit. A lot of the businesses and short-term rentals are slower than usual right now, so if you want to get a really great deal on a place to stay and come support some really great local businesses in this area, now's a really good time. Anyways, if you enjoy these walking tours and updates on what's really happening here on Maui, please make sure to hit the like button for me. Subscribe for more updates just like this, and share this video with anyone you know who's considering a vacation to Maui and trying to figure out where they want to stay. I hope to see you all in the next video. Aloha.